So we can start?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kazakhstan American Corners program. Thank you for joining us, our session today. My name is Adelina. I'm the coordinator at American Corner Petropavlovsk. My colleague, Alina from Shymkent, will be a moderator. Alina, say hello. Okay. Thank you. We are pleased to know that the program we designed brought so much attention to our audience. Based on the registration, we know that we have here students, professionals from across all Kazakhstan. It's really great. Participants not only from Nur-Sultan and Almaty, but even small towns and cities also join us here. Thank you. Caroline Ideus, our virtual English language fellow from Martin, Tennessee, will teach you during these 8 weeks on English soft skills. And the reason we designed this program is that we want young, ambitious professionals who are preparing themselves to look for a job in a competitive labor market, learn to overcome their fear of giving presentation, learn how to look for a job, write a CV correctly, and behave during interviews. And today, the first session is elevator speech. And before we start, I would like to brief you on the rules of our session. So for stable connection, please turn off your microphone while you are not using it. If you have any question during the session, please type them into the chat box and we will address them during the Q&A. And please be active during the session, raise your hand if you have a question. And also at the end, you will have a poll, attendance poll. You will have 30 minutes to fill in this form. And we will let you know in a chat when you will have access to fill in. And contacts, please follow us on Instagram. And if you have any question, if you have a problems, please contact us via email or WhatsApp and Telegram. So now I give the floor to you, Caroline.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. It is morning for me, but I hope you all had a great day. And I appreciate you spending your time. I know some of you, it's probably 7 o'clock at night, so not really a good time. You probably want to relax and watch TV or spend time with your family, but I'm happy that you are spending time doing this. I really appreciate it. So, one second. So first of all, my name is Caroline Ideus, and I live in Martin, Tennessee, which is this red state right here. And also I live in the western side. So here is the Mississippi River, and I live about where the T is. Let me, yeah, so about where that T is in the Tennessee. So this week, we will learn about elevator speech. And if I don't know if you know this, it's a very relatively common thing that young people and people are taught for business, for personal. There are many uses of an elevator speech. And then next week, talk about our personal brand and finding your strengths and weaknesses for week 3, and upskilling, time management for week 5, resume writing for week 6, or CV. It's the British system calls it CV, and America, we call it the resume. Week 7, using social media for networking and professional, especially LinkedIn and maybe other social media. And last week 8, networking and effective communication. I'm aware that you have your microphones turned off right now, but you can always ask me a question in the chat box as it goes on, and Adelina can ask because I will not be able to read the chat box. But today we will talk about how to make an elevator speech, and then we will practice in breakout rooms. So you can give your elevator speech to some new people you're meeting. So it will be very interactive today. So first of all, what is an elevator speech? It's a short speech about yourself, and it can be used when you're job searching, when you're a company owner and you're trying to sell something, for networking, for any type of things. And so it's important to know what your environment is and your context. And really, you're introducing yourself and key information about yourself. And the reason why it's called an elevator speech is you want it to be short enough you can tell someone while you're on an elevator to a different floor. So about 30 seconds, 60 seconds. If it's any longer, it gets a little boring and off, maybe too rambly. So why is it important to have an elevator speech? First, time is limited. If you are maybe at an event and you're networking, you're meeting new people, you don't have much time to make a good connection. But if you have a good elevator speech and you have a business card, you might be able to, it's more effective. Also, to share important information. If you're trying to sell, your product or your company, it's very straightforward and upfront. And of course, to make new contacts and meet new people. So with the elevator speech, as I said, keep it brief. And also, it's important to share your skills. What do you have to offer, especially if you're job searching? So do you have, for example, do you have experience in marketing? You can explain your experience and mention your goals. And this is specific if you're job searching. So if you're looking for a job, like I'm looking for a job in advertising, and I would like to work especially on the creative side of advertising. And then of course your business card, because you make these contacts and you want the person to contact you. So that's why it's important to have the business card ready. Okay. So how to do an elevator speech? So as we said, brief, 30 to 60 seconds. It's not that much time, but you can get a lot of information in 30 seconds and 60 seconds. Okay, be persuasive. So explain what you want or your sell, why you are there. Share your skills. And always practice. It's good to practice your speech so you are comfortable and confident. And mention your goals. So if you want to get a job in advertising and you're talking to someone in engineering, it's probably not a good match. So that's why it's important to know your audience. So if you know this person's in engineering, you don't need to tell them about your advertising because maybe they have no interest. But always have your business card ready. And I know right now everything is virtual, but it's important. Sometimes you can send people a private message on Zoom, or you can put your contact information on the chat box. So you can still exchange contact information while you're online. Okay. The don't, what not to do on the elevator speech is don't speak too fast. So if you do memorize it, and a problem with memorizing things is then people speak too fast. So it's important to speak slowly and clearly, especially your name. And think about if you're talking to someone that's from a different country, say your name slower because they are not used to hearing names from Kazakhstan, for example. So when you talk to an American, say your name slowly so that they remember your name. And avoid rambling or sharing too much information. Okay, so don't go into too much detail about your current job or whatever it is. Just keep it simple. And don't frown or speak in a robotic way. So meaning, don't be like, my name is Caroline. I am looking for a job in advertising. Don't do that because it's not very friendly and it makes it very uncomfortable. And this is very important, is don't restrict yourself to one speech. So think about what you're going to. What are you going to an event? What kind of people will be there? Is this a place where you could find a new job? Or is this a place where you want to make just connections in your work industry? So you have two different goals. So that's important to know. Or if you're with a company and you want to sell something, or you're a company and you want to talk to other organizations in that field. So here are some examples. So a job searching one. This person says, I recently graduated from college with a degree in communications. So the flaw is they didn't say their name, but I recently graduated from college with a degree in communications. I worked on the college newspaper as a reporter and eventually as the editor of the arts section. I'm looking for a job that will put my skills as a journalist to work. Okay, so this person said what they have to offer. So they have a college degree in communications, their experience, and their goal. So that's a job searching one. So for a sales pitch, my name is Sarah and I run a trucking company. It's a family-owned business and we think the personal touch makes a big difference to our customers. Not only do we guarantee on-time delivery, but my father and I personally answer the phones, not an automated system. So here, this is a sales pitch, trying to sell their company to new customers. So Sarah, introduction, explains what the company is. Simple, trucking company. That's it. Don't give more details. She explains it's family owned, which is important here in the US to know this. It's not from a corporation, it's a small business. And then she goes on to explain their customer experience. And so that's a good example. And then this is mine. So this is just a general introduction. I'm not trying to find a job. I was just meeting new people. I'm Caroline Ideus. I'm an international educator. I've been teaching international students abroad and domestically for over a decade. I mainly teach English as a second or foreign language, but my passion is intercultural community engagement. So that's my introduction. If I were talking to someone in my field, I would change this because people in my field know ESL and other acronyms, but that's a point to know. Do not use complicated language. So usually I call this ESL, but no one knows that. So I have to say English as a second or foreign language. No acronyms. So here's a short video for us to watch.
A 30-second elevator pitch, sometimes called your 30-second commercial, is a quick way to introduce yourself at a career fair, when networking, or in any professional setting. Start off with a quick intro, your name, year in school, and major. Easy, right? Next, mention your plans for the future. What field are you interested in? Let the other person know your goals. Then, talk about the steps you've taken to get there. Briefly describe your experience or skills that you've developed to help you reach your career goal. Finally, if you're talking to an employer, mention how their company fits into your career plan. And there you have it, the 30-second elevator pitch. Create one and you'll be able to approach employers with confidence. So, what's your pitch?
Okay, so that's again what I explained. All right, so I hope you have some pen and paper handy, but now we're going to, in a little bit, we're going to go into breakout rooms about our elevator speech. And so this is a key and slide. So if you have paper and pen, so first start out by introducing yourself. Give your name. And as I said, make sure you say your name slowly if you're talking to someone, a foreigner. So, and then provide a summary of what you do and explain what you want, and then finish with a call to action. So this is specifically for job searching. Okay, this type of elevator pitch is for job searching. But if you want to just introduce yourself, you don't need to do a call of action. You know, you can just stop at step 1 and 2. But if you want a job, or if you are selling something for a company you work for, it's important to know this information. So number 1, introduce yourself. 2, provide a summary of what you do. Explain what you want. Call to action. So this is, introduction, summary, explain. This is the ask. What do you want? Okay, so I recommend, if you can, take a screenshot of this, because you will not be able to see this when we are in our breakout rooms. So take a screenshot of this, and you can start writing your pitch on paper. We will make breakout rooms for 10 minutes, and I want you to practice with the people in your room, practice your elevator pitch. And then after 10 minutes, we'll come back, and if some of you want to share your elevator pitch, that would be great. So any questions before we go into breakout rooms? Adelina, anyone have questions?
Yes, here we have a question. Are we allowed to make screenshot photos and post it later? So,
Oh, post the elevator speech later?
I guess, yes.
Yeah, so I have at the end of class, at the end of this session, I will show the Padlet. And if you want to tell your speech on that Padlet to practice, that would be great.
Okay, and Gulnara asked about what is the goal of elevator speech? What are we doing it for you?
The goal for this is, at least in American setting, there are lots of different type of social events. So job searching fairs where you have a lot of employers and maybe you have a minute talking to people because it's so busy. So that's one reason. A second reason is maybe at an event, you need to talk to some people. How do you approach a stranger? So this is a great way if you memorize this, or if you work for a company or an organization and you need to introduce that company to a new person, it's good to have this. So there are many reasons to do and have a good elevator pitch. So personal life, work life, job searching life, there are many ways you can use this.
And she answered to make new acquaintances, or we are looking for a job.
Yes, exactly. That's the primary purpose, but many uses.
Also, we have a question from Ajar. What if I already have a job and I'm not looking for a job?
As I said, this is good to use when you are talking to new people. For example, if your job, you need to make contacts with new people, you tell what your organization does. Or if you're starting a meeting, you have to organize a meeting, you need to introduce yourself, what are you doing, why you are there. So there are many uses of this.
Okay, and also we have a question. Should we practice the elevator speech with switch off microphones?
Right, so you will be in breakout rooms. So you can practice your elevator speech with your small group. And when you make your elevator speech for the small group, make one that is best for you. So if you already have a job, maybe introduce your company, introduce your job, or just introduce yourself. So there are many ways you can make your speech.
And the last question is what we are going to do now?
Yes, we're going to put you into breakout rooms, and I want you to practice your speech.
Okay.
Again, 30. So screenshot this, write your speech if you want, or just practice saying it. Okay. So hi everybody, as we're coming back, we just have a few minutes, but would anyone like to share their elevator speech? You can raise your hand and the reaction and we will unmute you. So if you would like to share your elevator speech, raise your hand. Gulnara.
So can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So, hi, everyone. My name is Gulnara. I'm so happy to meet you. I'm working as English teacher, and mainly I work with young learners. I think that your company, that work that the company does is amazing, and I would like to become a part of your company and put my knowledge and experience to make in our common progress. And would you mind if I set up a quick call next week for us to talk about some ideas that I would like to propose to you? Is it okay?
Yeah, very good. Great job. And that's good. You had your ask, your introduction, your explanation, and your ask, what you want. Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
And Guljan.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Well,
Yes, we can. Yeah.
great. So good evening, everyone. My name is Guljan. It's very nice to meet you. I'm a program assistant at non-governmental organization in Almaty, which is specialized in educational and exchange programs. Mainly, I was involved in the travel logistics, organizing events, and submitting financial reports. So it's my part-time job. So it would be great if your company can suggest me some opportunities. So yeah, would you mind if I set up a quick call next week? And this is my business card. Thank you.
All right. Great job, Guljan. Good. You had your introduction, your explanation, and your ask. Very good. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? You can raise your hand. And before we get to the next person, Adelina posted in the chat box a survey on Google Forms, and please complete that right now as we are listening to people, and it will only be open for 30 minutes. So please complete that survey very soon. That is in the chat box. Okay. So Karina, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Karina, and I'm from Almaty. I'm a HR specialist at the pharmaceutical company, which calls Spay Kazakhstan. So mainly what I do is hire people and do the promotion, and also I'm trying to help to improve your career path. A part of that, I'm also very interested in tech ideas, startup development, especially that specialized in the IT industry. So my call to everyone is let's build a strong networking connection. So if you are interested, I know maybe in job opportunities or in tech specialization, please let me know. So thank you, everyone.
Good job, Karina. And again, you had your introduction, what you do, and your services that you provide. So very good. Okay, anyone else would like to volunteer? Raise your hand, but that's okay. We have Nargis.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Nargis. Last year, I graduated from a university with my bachelor's degree, and now I'm taking my master's on foreign philology. Apart from that, I'm taking my side courses on translation studies. I've heard a lot about your company, and I've heard that you have many international partners, and it would be really good if I could work with you. Would you mind if I give you my business card just in case you have some projects coming? Thank you. Something like this.
Yeah, very good,
job.
Nargis. Yeah, that's great. Again, you introduced yourself, you had your education and what you want, your ask, the job. Very good. I hope maybe in your breakout rooms, maybe you made some new connections. I know it seems like there's a lot of people that are teachers. So maybe this is a great way to make new professional connections as well. Any last, I'll take one more person to share their elevator pitch. Any volunteers? Just one. Yes.
Jansia,
Yes.
wait a minute. Turn on your microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jansaya. I'm from Nur Sultan, and it's so nice to meet you. Now I am a last year student, and I study 2 foreign languages. As you see, my first language is English, second is French. And what I want in future, I'd like to work at school as an English teacher. And I hope to become a teacher who inspires her students. And thank you so much. That's it.
Great job. Good, good, good. Again, introduction, your experience, your ask, very good. Great job, everybody. And when I went into the different breakout rooms, I heard good elevators pitches and just networking, asking each other questions. So great job, everyone. And I hope over the next sessions, you can make a relationship and maybe have a good professional connection with everyone in this session. In my experience, because of COVID, I have done a lot of these online webinar type events, and I have actually met some really interesting people. And if it weren't for being online, I would have never met them because they're all over the country. And so this is a great opportunity. One last thing is in the chat box, I'm going to post the Padlet. And I encourage you, this is what we will use for the next 8 sessions. And you can post your elevator pitch if you would like. I posted some resources on that Padlet, some websites, and you can always post more information. So we will be using that as we progress through these sessions. Can everyone see that? I put it in the chat box, the link to the Padlet.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I am new to Padlet as well. Maybe some of you, this is new, brand new. I am new to it too. So we'll explore this together. But I encourage you to interact and post things. And then next week we will, I know I forgot about, next week is personal brand. Yes, this is similar to elevator pitch. I tried to organize them to be related to each other. Okay, so don't forget to do the survey and check out the Padlet. Any last questions? You can type any question you have in the chat box, but I hope you found this session useful and maybe met some new people.
Thank you. Will time of session be same every week? Yes.
And only once a week. Yes. Okay.
Karina wants to ask something.
Mhm. Yes,
Karina?
Karina?
I'm sorry. In that form, there is an ask for the request to write 3 things that I have learned during this session, but unfortunately, I was late, so I'm afraid that I have missed something and my answer would be wrong. So what should I do in this case? Should I write my thoughts, what I've learned, or I have to write particular things?
Oh, it's a question for me. So you should just write your impression about the lesson, about something, what you learned from today for this time that you attend us. So feel free. There is no correct answer.
Good question. Yeah, that's right. No right answer, no wrong answer.
Yeah.
Anything else? Well, I definitely appreciate all of your time. I know it's in the evening there and some of you have children and family. And so I appreciate you spending time with us tonight. And I hope this was helpful. And I hope that I see you all next week when we talk about personal brand. So
Yeah. I think that's all
mhm.
we forgot for you here today. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you tuning in and hope you learned something new about elevator speech. And before we sign off, I'd love to tell you the second session is next Thursday on February 25 at 9. I'm so sorry. At 8. I forget about it. At 7 o'clock Almaty time. And feel free to reach out to us via email, Telegram. You have all links in your emails. So we will see you next time.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.